Hey everyone, Yann here from Devolutions, and in today's video, I'm excited to share with you some of the latest features and enhancements in our summer 2024.2 release. Recently, I chatted with our amazing product marketers and asked them to send me some of their top features that they wanted us to spotlight in this video. Some of these enhancements are unified features, meaning they cover more than one product, and others will be grouped by their respective products. So Remote Desktop Manager, Devolutions Hub, Devolutions Server and PAM, as well as Devolutions Workspace. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out with our software, I definitely know there's something exciting for you to check out and a feature that you'll take advantage of. All right, let's dive right in and discover how these features can help you improve your security while also boosting your workflow. Let's check it out. All right, so first up is our new sealed entries, specifically for break the glass scenarios or emergencies. Now here on the screen, you're gonna see I have a credential entry that if I go into the security tab and the security settings, there I have a brand new seal state so I can have it sealed. Now, once this is sealed, you'll get this information screen that pops up here that tells you that it's sealed. And once any user unseals that specific entry, it will send a notification to the administrator. Since I'm the administrator, I will receive that notification and I'll see it up there displayed so I know that it was unsealed at that specific time. Now, in order to help you better organize the contents of a vault, we've decided to create something called a vault content type, which restricts the contents of a vault to a specific type of entry. So here, if I go to my vault management in my Devolutions Hub and I add a brand new type of vault, I'll be prompted with this new window. So I can select from a standard vault, a secrets vault, a business vault, or even a credentials vault. A little bit earlier, I already created this credentials vault, so let's take a look at it. So if I go ahead and open that up here in Remote Desktop Manager and I switch to it, notice here I can have credentials and OTPs and secrets. You'll notice that the Add New Entry dialog box has changed as well, limiting to only credential types since this is a credential vault, making it just a little bit easier for you to organize your content. We're now implementing a simpler way to manage and assign licenses for both the Devolutions PAM and Devolutions Gateway products per user. So for my example today, I'm going to be adding a license for 10 users for privilege access management in my Devolutions server. I can have it either auto-assign or I can specifically assign those licenses to the users who I want to have access to the PAM solution. So assigning licenses per user will now be required for Devolutions Gateway and PAM. Now heading into specifically Remote Desktop Manager, many of you have been asking for this and we have delivered. So now we have a Microsoft Entra ID dashboard, very similar to the AD dashboard that we recently introduced. Here, as I launch it open, you can see I have a single pane of glass view of my Entra ID accounts, my users, as well as my groups. It allows me to modify the members of various groups. I can add, remove, edit. If I go into the user management properties, you can see here that I have full range to edit information there as well. I can disable accounts. I can even reset passwords and revoke sessions, create new users and invite new users to my Entra ID. So really handy when onboarding new users into your Azure AD or Entra ID platform. Next up in Remote Desktop Manager is a brand new functionality called AutoType. Now this is specifically designed in scenarios where autofill or maybe the Workspace browser extension cannot insert username and password into a website or even a desktop application. So in my example here, I've RDP'd into a specific server where I now have a pop-up window that I cannot autofill because I don't have browser extension installed or I'm not allowed to. But if I head up to this new auto typing section, I can type in the username from the actual RDP session, as well as the password, and inject it right into those fields without having to remember where to copy and paste this information from. So we hope this makes it a little bit easier when you're trying to access resources and autofill a little bit more conveniently. Now, along the same lines of the previous feature we just showed, we're now introducing a new connection entry called the native application login. So here you see I've created a new native application login called Novasign Login that points to a specific desktop application that I use daily. And what I want it to do is insert my username and my password directly into this application. I can even have it auto submit so it logs in for me. So I've set the correct parameters. And then now when I click on open session, you'll see it pops open the desktop app, sends it the correct parameters, and even logs in on my behalf. Quick and easy and a painless workflow. Now here's a free bonus tip. If you're familiar with RDM's quick search capability, if I do control space and type in Novasign, my native application login entry has popped up, and now you'll see I can actually hit autofill right here and it'll launch the session and inject those credentials that I put in earlier, and now I'm ready to roll. Now jumping on over to Devolutions Hub Business, we've simplified the way web-based sessions are displayed on the screen. Before, when you open a new session, it would pop open a brand new browser tab. But now what we've done is when you open a session like this RDB here, it opens directly in the same window that you're using. And also on the left-hand side, you'll now see a sessions dropdown, which will list all of the active open sessions. So here, if I open up another SSH, you'll see it will appear on the left-hand menu in the sessions. And if I open, let's say this Telnet session, it'll also appear on the left-hand side there as well. And I can easily select through them and navigate. Very simple. I can even duplicate connections if I want to, and I can individually close them, or I can actually close all of them at the same time. So just a much more convenient and intuitive way of running active sessions using Devolutions Hub along with the Devolutions Gateway. Also in Hub, we've added a way to multi-select entries for deletion. To multi-select, simply hold down the control key and select all the entries you want, and then choose delete, and there you go, you can delete all those entries. Now moving on to Devolutions Server, I am pleased to announce that you can now access Mac endpoints using the ARD protocol directly in the web. So if you have Devolutions Server with the gateway installed, you can open up in the web preview mode, which can access that Mac endpoint and perform all the functions and maintenance that you have to directly in the browser without ever having to open any external applications. It runs natively and extremely smooth without any other applications needed. Now, this next feature provides you with a lot of different capabilities to protect your DVLS instance from when and how it can be used. So here, for example, you'll see that if I go to administration and then go to server settings, and conditional access policies, I can actually create a conditional access policy for logging in, for example, here. So here it's going to be called deny external user access on Thursdays. Then I'm specifying that access will be denied, and this rule will apply to user tags that are external. And then I can further specify when the access is denied, and that will be on specifically Thursdays. Now, if I log out and then try logging in on a Thursday with this external user, you'll see that they'll be prompted with a message saying that they do not have access to this DVLS instance. Now I'm going to log back in as the administrator and then show you the report that notifies me of this. If I go to reports and data source logs, you'll see here that there's a login attempt, and it gives you the reason why that the external user could not access based off of that login policy. In this instance, I have a Devolutions Server and a Devolutions Gateway installed, which allows for me to do session recording. To view those recorded sessions, simply now go to the session that you have, go to the recording tab, and simply click on the play icon, and now you'll see it directly in the web browser. In Devolutions Server and Devolutions PAM, we previously introduced just-in-time elevation groups for PAM entries. Now, since not all groups apply to all entries, we've now created privilege elevation sets to better display and organize your elevation groups. So my first step is to select the provider privileges that I want here. So I have these accounts that I want to use, and I can even now quickly rename them all to make them a little bit simpler. then I can enable the privilege set for easy assignment of these just-in-time privileges. So I'm going to select the groups that I want to apply to this new core infrastructure set, and then also assign the privilege account that it is associated with. And then I'm also going to repeat this process a couple times for some other sets. Now, if I head over to the PAM Vault and select the core infrastructure admin account, here I can now request a checkout and elevate it using one of those predefined elevation sets that we created earlier. Also, if I go to this incident management admin account, you'll also notice that I can elevate it, but using different predefined sets. And that's the whole point. Now, shifting gears to the Devolutions Gateway, and specifically the Gateway standalone version, we've recently added the ability to actually perform a network scan. So after adding a new session, you can see on the right-hand side that there is a network scan being performed that will show all of the available session types that I can connect to. I can simply connect to one, put in the password, and there we go. And lastly, in Devolutions Workspace, our teams created a convenient way of transferring over a space from your mobile to your desktop or vice versa. So in my example, I have my user Maurice who wants to transfer his Devolutions Hub business over to his mobile phone. So I simply start by going up to his account profile, and on the bottom it says sign in on mobile. So I can simply pull out the mobile phone and then here click add space and select add from desktop by QR code and point it over to my screen, scan that QR code, and voila, it magically appears in the Workspace mobile app. And by the way, if you want to do the exact same thing, but starting with your mobile phone and to transfer it over to your desktop application, you simply do the exact same process and it works magically just as well. I hope you're as excited about these features as we are. Now, don't forget to comment below on the feature that you are most interested in implementing and trying out for yourself. Also, don't forget, for more information, be sure to check out the blogs for each of one of these products that we talked about in the description below. And finally, if you found this video helpful, leave us a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to our channel for more product updates and relevant news to everything that has to do with Devolutions. So until next time, this is Yann wishing you a seamless and productive workflow. Have a great rest of your day and see you in the next video.